Hello, my fellow Lincolns, newcomers, and passerbys. Welcome back to some more Scum Leaks. This is Tommy's page. He's a co-founder creator at Gamepires, and his link is down below, so you guys can check it out and look at it yourselves as well. So we have quite a few leaks here that I kind of want to get through, mostly because they seem to be leaking a lot of things lately, and I have a feeling there's going to be another quick update coming up here soon. So this one is the first one we got here. These are bicycles, right? So they're not like the motorbikes. They're exactly the opposite of motorbikes, where this actually requires you to actually move your legs to actually work. But this is actually really cool as well. It kind of makes me wonder if the stamina is also going to be needed to actually run a bicycle. Maybe the stamina is less than running, but it still uses stamina. I feel like that's going to be a thing. And yeah, they look really nice. I think it's a regular old mountain bike, nothing too crazy. They'll probably have different versions and different styles, but as for right now, this is what they're showing. So beyond the bike, though, they also have a new food item, which I'm only going to go over real quick. They like to support small businesses in Croatia, so I feel like this is one of the things that they're supporting, and they brought it into the game. It looks pretty darn good, but what I really want to focus on is the detail inside these bags. Just look at the crinkle in it. It just looks really nice. The light hits it really well. In all different directions. I think in the eggs look really cool. So I think it looks really, really cool. Plus, it's probably going to allow more cooking options for the game. So let's go ahead and go over the next thing, which I think you guys will actually appreciate, which is the new Revolver that they're calling the Peacekeeper on the barrel, as you can see there. It looks pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. As you can see, it says PK for Peacekeeper on the embroidery parts and everything like that. It is pretty sweet to have new weapons in the game, like weapons that people have been wanting for a long time, and now they got more developers. They're able to rush these out a lot faster. Not, I shouldn't say rush, but actually get these out a lot faster. This might be coming out pretty darn soon as well. Now, this is something even bigger that I really want to talk about, these next three things. But first, let's go over this one. This is the new walls. As you can see, this is the brick wall. It looks a lot nicer. It looks a lot more, you know, like it belongs there, because Scum is like kind of like a mix between nature and what would you call it, human, nature and human environments, right? So nature and civilization, there we go, nature and civilization, and it's kind of a mix of that, and this is kind of like shows it a lot. Right, it doesn't look woody, which makes it look kind of weird. I think, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, guys, the wood kind of looks kind of weird. And the metal looks cool, but a little janky. But it's all right, because these brick kind of makes sense, because you're gonna, you know, you're not gonna do everything perfectly. But these walls look a lot better. They look a lot nicer. They look actually more natural. And actually, PvPing around these walls will probably be a lot more interesting. As you can see here, here's the concrete versions. These remind me of the zones, the safe zones. Those safe zones also have these kinds of concrete walls as well, which is pretty darn cool. Now, it would be also even cooler is if you could put C4 on the outside and they actually break down the same way that the the same way that the safe zone walls are kind of broken, and they have cracks in it, in the walls. And then you could just jump through it rather than it blowing the entire wall and it all just coming down. It'd be really cool if like bits and pieces of it actually broke off instead. Makes it a little visually cooler. But those are really nice. So let's go over the next two things. The second thing I really want to talk about is this is a car. This is a Wagon, as they call it. And it's bare bones. It's completely bare bones, which tells me that there's going to be a lot more complicated things going on with the car system here. Like I said before in a previous leak, that they are definitely going to bring this thing bare bones, where you're going to have to work on this car. You're going to have to build it from the ground up for the most part. Maybe engine, you just might need to get parts for it. Like you might not have to actually bring in an entire engine, or maybe you will, who knows. But definitely oil, maybe even some windshield wiper fluid, you know. But no, for real, it looks really nice, and it also allows for more car upgrades. So maybe you have to put in a seat, 2 seats, 3 seats, 4 seats, to make it a full vehicle for 4 people to fit in. So depending on the amount of seats you actually put in there, depends on if you know how many people can actually fit in there. But maybe it even changes the cargo space as well inside the car as well, because maybe you don't put 2 back seats, but you have a larger storage space because of that. That would be really cool, and that would be actually nice. I don't know if they're going to go that route. we shall see. But this is probably gonna be the same thing for the truck and everything like that. I doubt they're just gonna put the Volkswagen. It's the only thing like that you can do that with. That'd be really weird. But yeah, or maybe you can just do not have a roof on there and you could just put a freaking machine gun. You know, whatever. I don't know if a Volkswagen will be capable of carrying that, but you know, what else? Okay, next up we also have the amp suit. All right, so the amp suit is the next progression. It also supposedly supposed to be used by the company personnel, the SCUM personnel, to protecting their TV stations, along with the mechs. They can sustain a lot of damage, but will also have some weak spots as well. And as you can see here, there's a lot of different variations. I don't know. See, that makes me think that you might not be able to actually get in these. But if you are able to get in these, I think you're going to be able to build it at your base, or it's something you got to build. Period. Something you got to build. But either something that you got to put together at your base, or something you could probably kill a guy in, grab it, and you can walk away with it. Whether or not you're going to be able to transport it or not, I have no clue, because you're not going to throw this thing in the back of the truck. It's just not possible, depending on how they design it. Obviously, there are cybernetic men and stuff like that, and people in SCUM. In the SCUM lore, there is a lot of talk about cybernetic men, and like just augmentations, all kinds of mechanical augmentations. So this is something kind of like that, but the only difference is it's just an outside suit, so it's like outside augmentation rather than in-body augmentation. There's probably technical words for that, but I don't know them. But as you can see here on the left, there's a guy with a claw, and on the right, there's a guy with a machine gun on it, right? So if they really wanted to make it to a point, and also, by the way, I love the freaking little tower on top of the claw guy, and the guy sniping out of it with some fish dangling. That's pretty cute. But anyways, even if they were allow you to guys actually like take these and actually use them, I feel like the claw would be used for base building. So maybe the concrete, in order to put up the concrete walls, you got to have a mech suit, right? So it's a progression thing, where in order to be able to build concrete, you got to have that mech suit. You put up the concrete with the claws. It's the only thing that's able to lift the concrete up there into a full wall. You know, so basically the wall would be on the ground. You build it on the ground, but you have the claw, walk up to it, pick it up, it goes into the claw's inventory, or, you know, maybe there's an animation, and then you walk the wall till you want it, you drop it. Boom, done. Now you have a wall. That's how that should be, rather than upgrading it and upgrading it and upgrading it to a full thing. I don't know. I just feel like that should be a little different, only because it'd be pretty cool to use it for something like that. Or, you know, I don't know. It depends if they ever change base building. Base building probably is not going to change when it comes to the way it's built. But if it does, that'd be pretty darn cool. That would be awesome. Like instead of like it just upgrading up, like maybe you literally have to, maybe you have to do that, but you basically, I don't know. Like maybe you have to physically put up the walls themselves. So you have to build the walls on the ground, then put them up. So like sheet metal walls, build them on the ground, put them up. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but whatever. But anyway, so we got the machine gun one on the right as well, which is going to be pretty darn dangerous. And if they did allow you guys to actually be inside these mech suits, I'm pretty sure that'd be something that you would walk around the town with, or walk around your base with. You could probably build the suit inside the base, is probably how they would go. You'd build the suit inside the base, or you would get it from wherever you killed the guy on. Kill the guy in, you would get in the suit. There'd probably be a battery power pack in there. You'll probably be able to walk. You might not be able to run, and even if you are, it's probably not going to be super fast at all. But you'll be able to walk out of there with it. I don't think you're going to be able to put it into a truck. Maybe a trailer if they add trailers to the game, or maybe they'll create their own thing that you know that can pick up a mech suit and move it. Maybe like some kind of forklift type thing. And that could drive it a little faster than it can actually walk. So you could drive it back and forth, you can grab it at there and bring it to the base, or you build it at the base. You know, you have to get the pieces, build it at the base, and then if you build it at the base, then you can walk it outside your base. But it's not something that you're going to be able to run around the map with or in. At least I doubt it, unless they make it a little thinner than this, because this is crazy. But with the body augmentations, the cybernetic augmentations that are probably going to be in the game, maybe your strength will be able to go tenfold, and that's going to be crazy to see. But let's go ahead and go to this next picture real quick, because we're kind of running out of time here, and I'm kind of making this a lot longer than what it should be. But I think this is actually really cool stuff. As you can see here, this next picture is a little more detailed version of how it would look. So basically, it looks like you have the exoskeleton, you sit inside the exoskeleton, and then you build it. It looks like they're putting pieces on him to make the full suit. That's pretty cool. that makes a lot more sense, and that would make a lot more sense for the Scum players. So they build the suit inside their base, and then they walk it out. Boom. It would be the done. You walk it out, you do your cool stuff. Maybe, you know, you put all the pieces in the truck. Like you may not be able to put the whole thing in the truck, but you could put the pieces in the truck and you can drive it out to, like, I don't know, airfield. Say there's an event in airfield, you want to do a war zone or whatever, blah 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 blah. And you want to have a huge fight, a mech fight. You literally put it together at the airfield with some buddies, maybe, or maybe not, maybe because that is a game, you know, that's probably not going to be a thing. But you know, you put it together, and then boom, it's on there. It's completely on there, you know, and then you walk. See, that would be all right too. I'd be all right. I could live with that. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. That is all I have for you guys today. There was a lot of things being leaked, so I had to do this video. And I'm sorry the last one was a little longer. I talked about the last thing a little longer than usual, kind of ran it a little bit, but it's really cool stuff. And there's a lot of things that they could do with it. And there's a lot of like creative things that could happen and come to the game because of this stuff. And I just want you guys to know that it's possible. That stuff is possible. This game is completely open world. It's a universe that is completely unexplored. It's still early access, so I mean, we know a little bit about it. And if you got the supporter pack 2, which I do recommend getting, and if you do have it, go to the files and read the story, because the story tells about so much stuff, guys. It reveals so much stuff. And again, I thought I was going to do a video about it, but I might not. I might not do a video about the storyline yet. Only because it is being developed, and if something changes, then I want to be able to be along there with it, with the change. But also because, like, I don't want to spoil it yet, because there's just so much potential, and you know, that's something that, you know, the hardcore Scum players look into as a storyline. All right, you ain't a hardcore Scum player unless you read the storyline. Sorry to say. You know what I mean? If you don't have the money to buy it, that's all right, but you should know at least some of the storyline, at least a little bit, because they have leaked a bunch of stuff. You know, you should be like, where's the lore at, and look at the lore. But that's my little rant for the end of this video. So I really do hope you guys enjoy your day, and I am out.